Alright, we are back. For people that are watching this in the future on YouTube, we just finished up part 1 of the Coinflip run of Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn, where fate itself decides what units I am and am not, or are not rather, allowed to use. We've got a handy little tool you'll be seeing very shortly here, as soon as we get past all the cutscene junk. But of course, these are all our Part 1 units. We don't need these anymore, so we're going to quickly minimize those so that you guys can't see them. And pull up a new set here. Just adjust a couple things here. Oh, that's weird. I changed the color to green. Well, I'll change it again in a second. Alright. INCIA. There we go. So, additional rules here that are in play for those that did not watch part 1. Main character units, because they're required by the game to have and you cannot have them die, and they're used on every map. They are automatically allowed. So Lindsay is automatically allowed. We do not have to add any additional coin flips into there. Oh, that's because it's for the background color. Interesting. Well, I don't want a background color, so let's just go for our text color then. There we go, that's better. You can actually see that. So yes, Alencia is allowed. For everybody else, we have to flip a coin. I'm just going to go and make it easy, as I did in part 1, where every unit that gets tails is a unit that I'm allowed to use. Any units that gets heads, I am not allowed to use. In a stage like this, where they're already put into the map, basically they're put in timeout, they're put in the corner, they are only allowed to do at bare minimum what is required of them, so if there's any objectives or anything like that, you can use them for that if they have to arrive on a map, or if they have to, like, recruit another character by talking to them, they're allowed to do that, but otherwise they cannot participate. So, with that being said, let's start with, since she's right here, we'll start with Marcia and see if she's allowed. The sword, by the way, is tails, which is what it just landed on. So Marcia is allowed for what little that's worth, unfortunately. She's not super great at this game. I've used her before, and a lot of people seem to think very highly of her in this game. And maybe I've just gotten a bad one several times, but for me it's never happened. Alright, Neolucci. Old Man Raven. We're also going to be allowed to use him. Are we going to get a full sweep here? Again, I don't really care about Neolucci that much. That's not the end of the world if we don't use him. Leanne, our last one, is also a yes! Oh, you know what that means. It means the one character we recruit in the actual stage we're not going to get, and that's going to be very sad because he is extremely good. Alright. Go. That's who we've got for now, so we've got a full set. Let's see if we can't make use of it. At least I think for the beginning of this, probably the best person to get these kills is Marcia, as Alencia just doesn't get a lot of experience for the kills. It's a bit of a shame, but it's true. We're gonna focus on letting her level up, I think. I'm going to say protect Leanne. If, again, as it also mentions, if she does get kidnapped, you can get her back. And I'm going to try to just not have her get kidnapped, period, but no promises on that front. This is much harder to do if you've seen any previous runs of me doing this, where sometimes I just did not get all the characters, so it's harder to keep her guarded. Alright, now our big one, Har. I'm going to go ahead and recruit first and foremost. Har is a tank. He's kind of busted early game, and even, like, pretty much up till the end game. The end game is, like, the one time he doesn't really get to shine, but other than that, he's pretty freaking busted, which means... that didn't, like, flip or anything. It just straight up went nope. So no Har for me, I'm afraid. Nope, I've got to do this the legit way. Alright. We'll put him in timeout. Which is a shame, because he's like, he will carry your team in this. It's unbelievable how much he will carry your team. Alright. I have to have a little bit of cleanup duty here from the other one, since I had to move Marcy away from the fight. But, thankfully, altered them back into fighting for a second round, knocking that guy out as well. I don't really care about Neolucci getting experience, so this is going to be a Marcia Alencia show, since Hart can't do much here. Alencia's Slim Sword means that she does basically squat for damage on anything that's not a stun or a critical. However, it does mean that she's probably not going to get hit at all. Marcia's kind of got the opposite problem. She'll do better on the damage front. However, she will do much, much worse on the avoiding damage front. I'm just going to put Leanne in the corner over there. Where are they going? Let's go with Alencia first. She might be able to stun one of them. No dice. Quite enough. Yeah, even then, Marcia's like not a slouch in the dodging department at this point either. She's not Alencia good, but she's still pretty solid. Yeah, the boss is going to be the big problem here, as you can clearly tell. Thankfully, they seem to want to go after Alencia, not Marcia, which would have been the smart thing to do. She can't even damage him. We might actually be required to use Har for this. First things first. Speaking of smashing corpses across the landscape, let's get that guy out of here before he can do any more damage. Try to go with a ranged weapon just to scare him away of, oh, what if I get counterattacked? Marcy can at least damage him, that's something. And only one damage though, so I don't think it's going to be too much of a game changer here. Yeah, sure enough. So probably we're going to have to play more defensively on this, simply because we don't have Har. I don't know how Neolucci does against the boss. I guess we could give him a shot at it. I don't think he's going to be too terribly useful, though. So I'm not holding out much hope. Har can do, like... He'll probably 3-round the boss. Or, like, 3 hit the boss. 2-round the boss. It will take 3 hits for Har to kill the boss, is what I'm saying. Also, hello? Try hitting the reset button manually here. That's weird, I've never had to do this before. Let me do a quick little... unplug, plug back in. There we go. Yes, no signal. Big surprise. Oh, now all of a sudden there we go. The remote turned on before the actual Wii did. Alright, are you registering that the disc is still there? Yep. It was, oddly enough, having issues the other day reading a disc for, of all games, Mario Party 7. That Icarus and I were playing before I had to head to work, which was weird because it's like, oh, maybe it's a GameCube, like reading the GameCube disc error. We had just got done playing Double Dash for about an hour and a half with no issue at all, so clearly it wasn't that. I'm not sure what it was. Alright, so, more defensively this time. Got it. Yes, cutscenes. Those are nice too, I guess. try to keep the boss off of our crew here. But knowing me, I'm going to be greedy and try to get all the non-boss units killed by Marcia. Because I want that experience. Fine, be able to talk to Harm from there. Yep, that'll work. Valencia does have the ability to heal, which you could use, but bear in mind you're giving up a potential counterattack later on. You can technically counterattack with the stabs, but it's not anything to write home about. Should we get more experience, I guess, from doing that, from healing? Like, try to keep everybody away from the boss. Yeah, if the weaker cronies hit her, it's not as big a deal, so... And 18, alright, so let's switch this up. We'll do that. Now all of a sudden we're not interested, huh? We're gonna go after Valencia instead. Okay. Call that wishful thinking. Wow, she got that fast. She must have been like halfway through her weapon level already. Was it B? Alright, so she starts at B and can get to A pretty quickly. That's not too bad. It's like a lure. Yeah, another one of you guys out here. No, I don't want you. Go away. I'm just gonna start running in now, maybe. I can fly far enough away to have the boss not get me this round. Switch Valencia back to sword. Prevent Marcia from getting surrounded. Yeah, I knew you were coming. Yeah, he's gonna be able to do it anyway. Or they're gonna be able to do it anyway. Yep. So basically I have to... Oh, I don't want to sacrifice that much experience, though. That's kind of a waste. Alright, I hear you make a noise, at least, so that's theoretically good. Yay! Hopefully that was a one-off thing where I had to actually, like, unplug and... So I hit the power button as well, since I guess you can't see what I'm doing. I hit the power button, and it also did not do anything. And I wasn't about to try hitting the eject button on the CD while the Wii was still on. Let's try a little bit more of an aggressive but different direction, physically, approach. to see how Neolucci handles the boss, just because I'm curious. Okay, well, he can dodge. Now the question is, can he damage? He's got any olivey grass on him, because if he transforms back, he's as good as dead. Worth it. It's a very different way of doing this map than what I normally do. There, because the clouds have moved over one. That's not horrible. The big problem is he's got a Lagoo's Stone. Dumb question. Does that reset his gauge? It does. Okay, cool. Because he can take out 2 of those, provided they don't run. And then that will make the problem of this decrease significantly. I do need to get this guy first, though. Actually got in the way, theoretically. I don't know if they try to leave or if they just hang around on the map. I guess we'll find out. Can't do anything. Worse. Have to do this. I don't think we have any other choice. Okay. At least we'll get the clouds for a little bit of a evasion bonus, hopefully. Well, since Alencia can't do any damage to that other guy, we might as well get this one out here. We can focus entirely on the boss instead. Yeah, see, once his accuracy's in the toilet, it's not that big a deal. Kind of here's support slash healing if things go wrong. Oh, he can leave. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so this might actually be kind of difficult. So unfortunately, that looks like potentially the only thing that I really can do is just sit in the corner like a good little boy, being upstairs in my room, pretending that I don't exist. I.e., just not doing anything. Interesting. There probably is another way to do it. Maybe if I got lucky with it. If I gotten a stun on the boss, that would have been a game changer, but I didn't try for that because I couldn't do any damage. So it would have been going specifically to try and hit the stun, which I didn't feel like was worth it. It's gonna slowly start backing up into that corner, basically. See, if I could have pulled that off on the boss, the critical wouldn't have done anything, but yeah, that stun would have, I think, stopped him from moving for like 3 or 4 turns. Most of the time, that doesn't matter, because stun is enough to just kill them outright anyway. Corner. Roll off Leanne. So also means we'll have to watch this cutscene of Marcia getting slowly healed bit by bit each round, but that's alright. See if they decide to do anything, I guess. At least Marcy will get some experience. I might be able to get her weapon level up to, A. Means they'll target Alencia, but that might be okay, honestly. I do find it funny that they don't want to target Leanne, because they're like, oh, that's a rare prize. Like, if we could bring that person back alive, we'd make a lot of money. And so instead they target Alencia, not knowing that Alencia is the Queen of Crimea, and would also be worth quite a bit of money if they brought her as a prisoner. But oh well, what are you gonna do? You don't get to use this men's staff all that much. Most of the time they give you a physic in the endgame of part 2, and I kind of just stick with using that because you don't want to get too close to the fighting, but in this particular instance, it's actually got some purpose. Most of the time you wouldn't need to heal your units because you'd be using Har and he'd be destroying everything in his path. Like the chaotic apeshit berserker that he is. Trying to make sure that we've got as few obstacles in the way when that boss does get here as possible. How many of them are left besides the boss? 2. Okay. If that one can get here before the other one does, and actually it may not matter because it's survived for 8 turns, it could be okay regardless here. If she gets the stun, then perfect, we won't move anybody else anymore. If she does not, then Marcia can go in and finish him off. Or, yeah, get the critical. Either one works. I don't think he can actually reach Marcia. Oh, no, he can. I don't think he can move after the fact, though, so she might be okay. Oh, and she dodged it anyway. Okay, cool. Fire and stones! I don't think I've ever seen this line. I usually kill this guy. Because normally you'd kill him with Har quite easily and get the short axe for Har. So it's basically a better hand axe. Cool. Alright, now we get to another interesting chapter, because this is one of those points where potentially I might get free pick on somebody. And the reason why is because neither of the characters in this stage are required to beat the game. However, you only get 2 So if I don't roll and get Nephany or Braum, then I get to pick, because you can't clear the stage of defeating boss if there is no one able to kill the boss. So potentially, depending on what happens here, I might end up with one of my favorite characters. The other option is I end up with Braum. Oops. Alright. Let's see what happens. For Nephany, the Coin of Destiny has chosen... No. So if we don't get Braum, then I get Nephany, because again, I get pick. I only get one, I don't get them both. It has to be at least kinda fair. So it is a no on both. So yes, since I do not get Nephany and I do not get Braum, I get first pick. And before anybody says, wait, you get Heather in the stage too. You do, she can't damage the boss. She's not strong enough physically, which means that the stage is unwinnable. So... because I think you can also get a Spectre card to damage him, but I think even with that, it runs out of shots before he actually dies. So, I get free pick on who I want, and who I want is pretty dang obvious. Because I don't know specifically what steroids Nephany took between the events of Path of Radiance and Radiant Dawn, nor do I know which specific part of the Marines she enlisted in. What I do know is that both of them work. So this is going to be a run where Nephany gets a boatload of experience in this map, because she's going to be doing it basically by herself. Braum will send you up here, I guess. Nephany's got this going, right? Yeah. Just has the Iron Axe. Okay. The big quote-unquote issue, and I'm using that term loosely here, is making sure that we keep as many of the houses alive as we can. Which, admittedly, is going to be a bit difficult. So I think by now... Oh, that's Heather. Okay. I know the other issue is, potentially, Heather can leave before you get a chance to recruit her. And I don't want that to happen either. I don't remember what makes her leave, though. So I'm going to try to get to her, as much as I don't want to risk losing the houses. Those aren't the end of the world. If I lose Heather, then I actually do have to start over, so let's not do that. And I think she'll come talk to you, maybe? I don't remember if she comes and talks to you, or you have to talk to her with, I think, either character works. I do appreciate that she got tired of their BS with the healing item and just stole it, though. That is funny. Yeah, both of those houses are going to go, and potentially that third one down there as well. I didn't know she was going to go after the bandit. That's kind of surprising. I'm going to allow myself to block this off with Braum. Oh, he actually went for Heather. That's also surprising. Well, I'm just going to go ahead and recruit Heather, I think. So, Heather, the thief that I basically never use. Do I get to use her? Yes. Okay. She does have some niche use, kind of like Soth in stealing objects. So she's not, like, completely pointless to have. Oh, you just have a coin. Nah. I'd rather just eliminate him completely. makes sense. Yeah. He can't do any damage, so that guy can just wail on him all day long and he'll never get through him. So you can't use that. We'll do this. And that. Beating the enemies for the time being. I believe this is the one that gives you the javelin, so this is the one that's like the most important for Nephene's toolkit. I think that one up there is the Spectre card? It might be an axe or a concoction. I don't remember which houses have what. Usually you get all these pretty easily. But this is the one I distinctly remember. Spectre card. Yep, fire away, my dude. Fire away. Funny thing is because he's got weapon levels as well. Eventually, if we sat there for another 47 turns, he would break that weapon and have nothing. Yep, fire away, my dude. Fire away. Hide you away, Heather, since there's not really too much you can do. Not unless somebody here has got an item that you can steal from them that's still alive. That dude does. Interesting. Okay, well, first, we don't need any of that crap going on with a mage trying to get in the way. They're like my favorite units. I know they can cause problems. Why do you think I use them? You're gonna come play? Okay. Okay, before we do anything else, we'll take care of you. And I don't think, oddly enough, as much as that guy on the left moves, the one that's by the boss, I don't think the one on the right does. And I don't know why. Let's finish this dude, 19, okay. For the sake of saying we did. If Nephene gets hit again, that'll activate Wrath, which means he'll almost assuredly die. Probably took her up to her max level for now. Yep, S. The big issue that I might run into, and might be why I switched to the Javelin, is I don't want that Steel Great Lance to break too quickly. I'm actually gonna go from here. Because I don't think there's an option to go shopping with a stage Nephene is in Part 2 until Part 2 Endgame. For that reason, I'm being a little more careful. It does mean that, like, because she's the only one I'm really using here, when she does get to endgame of Part 2, she's going to be a higher level than what I'm used to. Probably sitting somewhere around 10, 11, 12 would be my guess. I'm curious out of just sheer... Oh, it is just called plain. I was hoping the status there would be called chicken or something like that for the ground, but oh well. Share icon for luck. I think just for the sole fact of it not clogging inventory, I'll just go ahead and use it. This is where the difficulty is going to kick in, because basically Heather is going to be pointless against that boss, and it's probably... I'm going to battle save just in case, but it's probably not worth putting Heather in harm's way. I'll move her, like, here for now, and we'll see what happens. Balance it again now that this guy's on his own. So 11 times 2. So, yeah, we could probably knock him out in 2 rounds. If Nefty gets hit both times. Oh, never mind. I was gonna say, if she gets hit both times, she'll activate Wrath, because she'll be at 1 HP, and she'll just get a critical. But, nope, she just got a critical normally. So there we go. That's it for that, jackass. And if you can believe it, I think we only have, like, 2 more stages before the endgame is the 3rd one. I think that's it. Like I said, short part. Don't worry, part 3 makes up for it. Alright, so we already know where these 3 stand. Let's look at the others. Lucia, Leith, and Mordecai. We'll just go in that order. Lucia is not allowed, which is a shame, because she's probably the strongest of those 3. But nope, no using her. Leith. One of my favorites from Path of Radiance, who has fallen very far from grace. So not a big deal if we can't use her. And lastly, Mordecai, who's a little bit more passable. Still not great, though. That was an outright no as well. Alright. I don't think we can just not take them into a stage, which is a bit of a shame. So this is going to be the Neffany and Heather show. So I'm going to swap these over to them. That away, give that away, give that away. Actually, technically, because we do get Neolucci in this stage, I believe, as well. And Leanne, so we actually could take these with us. So I will. I'll take those with us, but not for use for them. Tap off our res. Access to shot, which sucks. Basically all we get, yeah. Lucia can, like, do some heavy carrying in here. Also interesting anecdote, if you use Lucia for this stage, and only Lucia for this stage, on easy mode, no thanks. You can actually get her to True Blade, because she's actually not too terribly far away. She's only 7 levels. And because she doesn't have a sprite for True Blade without her haircut, you know why if you've played this game before, the True Blade version of her will just have her hair short automatically in her 3D model, even though her sprite in her 2D picture here will still have her with long hair. So since I can't use any of them, we're just gonna do a little trading around here. Unfortunately, Neolucci's gonna have to hang back here because reinforcements pop up back there. So the million-dollar question here is, will Neffany run out of weapons? It's not if she can survive. She can absolutely survive. But if she runs out of weapons, there's not much I can do. At that point, I will have to temporarily... well, no, I'll probably have to let Neolucci go forward, I guess, at that point. We don't have any more options. Speaking of which, we do stone. Hopefully Mordecai can do some okay damage when he's not transformed. Question is victory route or victory defeat boss? If victory is route, then yeah, we're almost assuredly Neeluch is going to have to do all this. It is just defeat boss. Okay. So we'll probably just ignore the top path, if I'm being perfectly honest. Because otherwise, I'm not sure if this is doable. Just from, again, a standpoint of, I have no doubt Nephany can survive. This is purely a, will Nephany's Steel Great Lance break? And given there's a pretty high amount of knights in this stage at the end that are guarding the boss, I think it's a fair assumption that probably, yeah, it will likely break before then. Which is why for some of these more frail enemies I might be using Heather a little bit here. I know there's a thief down there with a coin, I believe, that if your Heather is high enough speed, you can steal it from him. As well, so that would be the more difficult one to get rid of. Let's just move everybody back here. Far enough. Alright, now let's just do this. Speed 15. 26. Oh yeah, she should be fast enough to steal it from him. I don't think you have to be that much faster. I think it's only like, I think it's the same difference between being able to double a unit or not. I think it's pretty low. Well, he died anyway, so rip. But we got experience and a weapon level up, so it wasn't a total loss. This is definitely one of the stranger part 2s that I've had. I don't have, like, nobody possible to play, but it's just the particular set that I've got here is, other than Nephany, not too terribly strong. No, I'm not moving Leanne over by that mess, thanks. Take at that healer, but that crossbow dude's probably going to have to be a Nephany kill, I think. Sneaking around there once I get this guy out of here. Yeah, I don't need a vulnerary, thanks. The good news is, if I can get through here, though, I can re-equip Nephany in endgame just fine, because she's not in the stage after this. Alright. Reinforcements back there are done. The only stuff that's left on the map besides these enemies are the ones that are in the top middle / top left that are kind of away from everybody. And I am very grateful that they have not decided to move over here and attack me. I don't remember what that Spectre card is based on. Is it a set number, or is it based on your magic power? Normally I never use these things. They're basically pointless. All the Spectre cards are, really. Oh, it's just a base number, huh? Okay, well maybe it's based on their resistance, I don't know. If I could get them out of there, I can do my usual to steal that secret book off the boss, because he doesn't drop it when he dies. You have to steal it from him. And you just steal it and then rescue with Nephany. And theoretically, normally I would pass Heather off to Braum and then drop Heather down, but I think theoretically I can do that with Neolucci as well. I know where the path is where I've already defeated all the enemies. Logically, I should just be able to fly over there. Oops, I've already moved her. I did not realize that. My mistake. Those are the knights taken care of. Can we pull off the other part of this? This will be entirely dependent on if Neolucci can rescue her. Yes, he can. So, yep. Steal the book with Heather. Make sure you have the javelin equipped with Nephany. Rescue Heather with Nephany. Normally you take a big penalty for this. But you can take Nephany, or you can take Heather from Nephany to another person, and then drop Heather out of the line of the boss, and get away from the boss. And that means the only person the boss can target is Nephany, who has a ranged attack, and will proceed to kick his ass. Running low on those weapons. I was getting a little worried, not gonna lie. If I had gone and tried to kill everybody, I probably would have run out of weapons. It would have been close, but there was another knight that was in that top left area by one of the torches, so that would have probably been it right then and there. Yeah, a Brave Lance, that's almost assuredly getting sent to Nephany. Alright. Now time to flip a lot of coins. We're just going to go in pure order here. If we don't get anybody, I will get to pick someone, so just be aware of that. But for now, Geoffrey. Yes, it is pronounced Geoffrey. It is actually canonical. The guy that does the voiceover for this game at one point mentions his name, and it is Geoffrey, not Jeffrey. But we can use Jeffrey, so that is good. Up next, Kieran. We can also use Kieran. Alright, so we get the two best ones, honestly, out of here. So if we don't get anybody else, we're probably still okay. Astrid. No, but honestly, that's fine. We talk about how the mighty have fallen. I said that with Leaf. Astrid's right up there, too, in terms of how the mighty have fallen. Makalov. We can use Mr. Pink Hair. We already have Marcia, so there's no need to flip a coin for her. So that just leaves Danvid. We did not get. That's okay. Of the 2 to lose, out of the 5 that we needed to flip for, that was definitely the 2 I would have picked to give up. Like, I might have swapped out Danvid for Makalov, but I think that's probably a better choice, because Makalov at least has the movement. whereas Danvid just doesn't because he's not on horseback. So, yeah, that was probably the best we could have hoped for, given the win and loss ratio there. Let's just sort that. Perfect. Okay. Meanwhile, over here, usually what I tend to do is just, like, put all my items up, check the shop for anything I want to buy, because there's a lot of good stuff here, but you're not going to want to keep all of it on those units, because anything that you keep in storage you can use for endgame on your other team, because you will not get the Royal Knights for most of endgame, for the defense part in particular. And thankfully we're not using Astrid, so we don't have to worry about the bows, so really we can probably just grab everything, honestly. I'm going to put the Horse Slayer on Joffrey, though. Simply because there's a lot of horseback units in this upcoming map, and Makalov can have the killing edge, because I don't think we have any swordsman units, because you wouldn't get Lucia anyway. Nefany and Braum wouldn't use them, Heather wouldn't use them, because she uses knives, so yeah, he's kind of got free reign for the swords. So he can basically just take all of this. So we'll give him that, that's easy enough. Marcia, on your end, I'll probably give you a Killer Lance. Joffrey, I don't want to take the Brave or Killer Lance, so I'll take the Short Spear and the Iron Great Lance. And that should probably be enough for him. Take the Concoction for him as well. And Kieran, I usually try not to take both of these, so I'll take the Steel Poleaxe. I can buy more hand axes and regular steel axe. Should be okay for you. EXP, you might as well just send it to everybody. Can't swap over skills, that's a bit of a shame. No supports. I'm gonna take one more look at the normal shop. The armory, rather. Most of the stuff you can buy, if not all of it, you can buy for your units in the endgame, so... I think we're okay on all this, honestly. It's the, like, shop that you can only buy limited stuff in. That's the one you want to look after, but a lot of people see all that and they're like, oh man, I'm going to, like, gear up the Royal Knights and just completely obliterate everybody. And you will, and then you'll get to endgame and realize you accidentally screwed yourself. First things first, I do not need those units helping me. They're going to soak up the experience. And while the Royal Knights are good right now, they're going to need all the help they can get later. Especially Joffrey, because he's going to disappear for a good long while. You're not going to see him after the endgame until basically the end of Part 4. Almost the end of Part 4. He shows up in the split path. He shows up on the last section of the last group, I think. And after that, when he's done, you go to endgame from there. So yeah, he does not get a lot of opportunity after this game experience. You can get him pretty easily to Silver Knight, on easy mode at least, but yeah, he's gonna struggle quite a bit. You guys are gonna hide down there. Let's see what the enemy does. Basically, the only person in any real trouble here is probably going to be Marcia, and even then, I wouldn't say she's in real trouble. It's only if she gets swarmed by a ton of enemies. To the point where it would have been my fault entirely if I put her in a position like that. Okay, I don't know what that guy just did. I think he was having an existential crisis. Let's go check on him, shall we? Hey, buddy, you doing okay over there? Better than that guy is, that's for sure. Yeah, they even joke about it when Karen's talking about this part of like, man, these soldiers look like absolute idiots flopping around on their horses instead of riding them elegantly like a knight. So yeah, pretty much the first half of all these enemies, they're just way under-leveled compared to you. You can mow through them pretty easily. Weapon triangle doesn't matter. Who you attack them with doesn't really matter. Almost assuredly, they're going to get wiped out pretty easily. If you had to pick somebody to train in this set, I would say either Karen or Marcia. Karen's got a little bit more availability than Marcia does. And there is one stage in Part 3 that I forgot about, that you do get to use the Royal Knights again. I forget it's there because you're switching between Trail Mercenaries and Dawn Brigades so much that, but yeah, there is another part in there. Yeah, let's try it. Nope, no dice. Get her out of that section. What I should do is this. There we go. Yeah, honestly, it's not even fair, like, with those poor guys, like a Class 1 unit going up against a Class 2 that's almost at Class 3, like, they're not gonna have any chance. It doesn't matter how good their weapons are, their stats are just gonna be much too low. Cool. Strength and speed. We'll take it. Pegasus Knights are notorious for not having very good strength, especially not in the older games. They had lances, which were better than swords, but they struggled to do any real damage against anything that wasn't super frail, like a mage or an archer, which you shouldn't put them in line of fire of anyway. Put her right there and then send her up here, because there's going to be a ton of reinforcements that are just going to keep popping up over there. Send Makalov up the right, Karen up the left, and Joffrey up the center. You can see how this stage has the potential to take a very, very, very long time that you can fix by changing two simple things. One, turning the battle animations off, and two, making sure your ally units are just tucked away in the corner, not eating up all your experience, because there were a lot of them to move around. There are some times where it's actually better to let them roam, quote-unquote. This is not one of those stages. That dude was planning, but it's gone now. Alright. Just about set. Whatever pops up. Yeah, thankfully, if you do want to send Marcia for it, the ballista that are here are not bow and arrow, they're just rocks. Which, well, they'll still damage her, they won't do the bonus damage, so... The thing you have to watch for is the archers themselves. are still archers, the crossbow guys, and also there's a couple backups here as well. So that's why I tend to keep Marcia down here instead. Tends to be a safer spot for her, as none of these reinforcements are archers. They're all either lance users or axe users. Did an okay amount of damage. Actually, past an hour on this. Granted, a lot of that was me fumbling in the prologue of part 2, but still. Thought we'd still be under an hour, but not quite. For his level 18. Yeah, he might not get to Silver Knight, but if he doesn't, no big deal. He'll probably get there in endgame. It's enough to, like, kind of barely turn the tide against the boss if you decide to fight him. Having that extra, like, big stat gain can make a difference. And having Soul for the ability helps a lot, too. But it's not necessary by any stretch. If you really fought to just only use Karen, you could probably get him to Gold Knight on easy mode. But you'd, like, have to push for it really hard. It would basically be no items, Karen only, final destination level of... He'd have to kill basically every enemy. Lucky with that attack then, okay. Let's say, kind of surprised it connected, that's why. They'll come back to attack me, so let's just kind of go around them. They'll go backwards to try and get me and then die anyway. I don't remember how Makalov does. He's a weird one in terms of how he gets stat growth. And the horseback units in this game are not nearly as good as they were in Path of Radiance. And I think it's pretty universally agreed that if you're going to use a Gold Knight / horseback unit, you need to take one of the ones that uses axes, not swords or lances. Which means that you're either going to take Titania from Girl Mercenaries or Kieran from Crimean Royal Knights. And probably not both. $13 out of $37, that's pretty elite. Alright. Let's just heal. Go away. Since that guy's just gonna keep following us, might as well just get rid of the guys that are actually causing a problem. Tries to heal, or if he's just going to sit there and do nothing. Ah. Ranged one, huh? Interesting. I think probably about 2 turns from now we should be good. Nice. First try. I don't know if we're going to have to sit in there wailing on him for a couple turns or not, but thankfully that was not the case. That's usually pretty good, honestly, if you're just keeping her over here. If I was playing with a full set, I'd have Astrid Makalov there, like helping to chip away to make sure she can get those kills. But since she actually gets early, she gets there early into the fight, and therefore she's actually kind of manageable to use in endgame. Part 2, you might get an opportunity to use her. Looks like I was wrong about the 2 turns only because of your little reinforcements here. This guy's got a woe now, so he doesn't have a chance to get a critical, so I'm going to wait for a tiny bit of time here. Where do you think you're going, boy? Oh, really? That's what you're gonna try to pull that stunt? Alright, I see how it is. How much damage can this guy do? I'm gonna heal 4, and then with a crit, that's 12. Okay. Ranged, so we'll just go with this. Yeah, that would be the one downside about using the Killer Lance a little too much, is you might accidentally break it when you need it for the end game. Yeah, he actually did get the crit. Wow. Look at you. He's gonna get another level. Nope, not unless... Oh, well, maybe. Meanwhile, the boss just unceremoniously dies, who looks a little bit like Kurt Wilde from Hot Wheels. Too bad it looks like Street Breed won't be winning the world race after all. Standard lance. At this point, you're strong enough that you can knock them out without having to use a crit. Just leaves dumbass number 1 up here and dumbass number 2 down there. There we go. Cool, got one more level out of that before endgame. As for you... Not quite enough to get to level 12, but that's okay. Actually got a turn bonus for that? Are you kidding me? Well, I guess they do expect the ally units to be there, because the ally units can also get in the way. Physically can get in the way, so that can also present a problem. Alright, so we move to endgame. Yes, we are already at the end of part 2. Hey, Har, I wish you were here fighting in the trenches with me on this one. This is gonna be rough. Yeah, that's basically all we need for her. Let's see. I want to redo her stuff and give her a steel dagger, since I'm actually gonna be kind of using her. Basically just need to reset most of your stuff, because most of yours is almost broken. Leon I do have allowed, that's basically what should be using, same with Neolucci. Khalil we don't have selected yet. Do we get Khalil? She's okay. Not anything to write home about, but I'll take an extra unit, sure. My brain always looks at that as wrong, because I've got a character that I often write as named Callie, which is L-L-I, not L-I-L-L. So it's throwing me off every time I try to type it in. Okay, first and foremost, based on what we have, Nephany should have some stuff here. Great Lance, Brave Lance, Killer Lance, a dog. We'll check and see what else the convoy has, because those are all pretty good as is. Anything else in here? Otherwise, this is basically what you get. It's just a killing lance, axe, and sword, because there's no point in buying this, let's be honest. You could buy the recovery staff, but you don't really need to. I would sooner, just on the off chance you need it, I would buy Steel Dagger. I would sell both of those swords, because you have no need, because you don't have any sword uses other than Alencia. This sword can't break, and it's just straight up better. It's like an infinite use brave weapon. Why would you use that over a slim weapon? I'm gonna get rid of that and that, just for the sake of having extra money. I don't have any axe users here, so there's no point in those. Don't have any bow users, so I can just get rid of those. I don't need the bronze and iron set. I've got the steel set. We'll keep these. We'll keep that. That will take us to end the game. Alencia's Gambit. Alright, very quickly, I'm going to take a small break so I can use the bathroom, and then we'll be back to hopefully not get completely obliterated by this, because even, like, the first time I played this game, this was the first wall that I hit, just playing normally, because this is a more defensive playstyle, so we'll see how it goes. Be back in a couple minutes. And now we're back, with even more dogs. I know, they haven't left. They never really leave. Now they're just making really weird noises. Alright. Based on who we've got, yep, that looks about right. God, this is a sad lineup right here. Nephene's gonna be doing some hard carrying on this one. Holy moly. Now I know how Matty felt in Survivor Gabon when he saw his team's lineup and was like, I'm gonna be carrying a lot this season, huh? Oh, poor guy. Well, we'll see how it goes, I guess. It's gonna be weird. Yeah, I know you're supposed to, like, stave off your defenses, but man, we're gonna have to do something. Normally I would send Har down here, but that's not really an option now. So Nephene's gonna have to block probably right here, because I don't think she can get to the door in time. That's not her fault, it's just she doesn't have a giant dragon to ride on. Thankfully, this is a stage where, despite I recommend not having the allies like target a specific point, you actually want them to do their own thing. They're actually pretty good about doing what they need to. Fire from here, I suppose. Nice. Actually got him. Cool. Crossbow guys. You have to watch out for those crossbows that the enemy has on this one. They will mess you up. Very, very careful where you put your units. Once they're gone, then it's like, okay, cool, we're set there. The other big thing is going to be figuring out who to plug the other spot with to prevent the enemy from coming up. Nephene's one, we don't really have another person that works well for the other one, so that's going to be an issue. They're not going to break down the door this turn, but by next turn they will. But yeah, if you can clear out this little middle area, even if you are playing defense, it helps a lot. Going to put down on that left-hand side. So that the crossbow guy is the problem, because a lot of the reinforcements down there are crossbow units. So unfortunately, normally I'd say our best bet would be Neolucci or Peg Knight, but all of them are weak to crossbows. So that's not really an option. We actually can get Nephene down to that doorway, though. Well, first. That guy's gotta go. I think we give it an opportunity. I think we're gonna give Nephene the opportunity to try and crush this thing. Just know whether I would put hard, but we'll see what happens. For now, we're basically just gonna swoop in and kill any bow-based unit that there is. Combine Alencia and Leanne pretty well here to consistently knock out 2 units, regardless of what type they are. Even the big, bulky knight units can usually get knocked out by her. Which is good, because they're kind of a hassle to deal with unless you have Har. But even Nephene and Braum do kind of struggle with them a little bit. That guy out of here. The good news is they're all going to be funneling from one spot once we get them all, so it'll be a little easier at that point. Let's see what happens. I'm not used to using that, or not used to having that left side so unguarded. There's only that one other unit there. Normally Braum is going down that section and just like cleaning house, or at the very least keeping them from getting through. weird because like I want some of them to move forward, but some of the other units, I'm like, no, stay exactly where you are. Like, do not move. Like, unfortunately, you can't tell. Like, oh, this unit specifically, I want them to move, but not any of the others. I do have pretty good faith that Nefni can hold that door, though. Har can usually hold it fine, except for the Thunder Mages, which is basically the only thing that has a real shot at killing him. Everything else just can't do the damage. But yeah, those Thunder Mages are pretty nasty, but she won't take the bonus damage for them. And her res is already capped at at Halberdier. So I don't think it's going to be as big an issue. She will probably just play full defense and just heal every turn, but we'll see. I'm going to switch to Great Lance temporarily here. I don't want to accidentally pull a Wrath mistake, but it might happen anyway. We'll see what happens. Bad spot. Good level. Take it. Crossbow guy already coming up the stairwell here. 7. Ugh. We're 8, but it's not. There's not anything I can do about it right now. This is really it. Wow, missed both shots. Yikes. Crossbow guy? I don't think he can get up here. No, he can't. Okay. Oh, I can't actually still get over. Okay, cool. I was just gonna do this. And hopefully that will weaken him enough to where one of the other units can get him out, because I would much rather get that guy out. The Knights have a better chance at survival. Because the Thunder Mages are kind of a problem for the Knights. Everything else, not really. Except, I guess, the other Knights that are on the enemy side. Oh, my dude, why? That was actual suicide. Why did you do that? Yeah, your time would have been better off spent doing that. Oh, that was such a fool's errand. He just saw that healer and got, like, full tunnel vision right there. Oh, really? Nobody can... Yeah, that dude's gonna be toast. He might survive this round, but he's not gonna last forever. Normally, to plug that hole, I would send Braum and Nefni through there, but unfortunately, Nefni is otherwise occupied, and Braum is not playable, so I'm not sure what we're going to do. That left side is starting to go, which is going to be a problem. If I can consistently get... I mean, I might be able to get that dude with the crossbow this next turn. If I could get him out, then Alencia could pretty much sweep the rest of them. That will be the million-dollar question. Actually, Marcia might be able to get him. There we go. I cut his health in half. Nope, not quite. Mia Ritchie, can you do it? Nope. Alright, I guess we have to send Alencia then. Yeah, that guy oddly doesn't move, thankfully. We would just do this. I think I'm gonna do a little bit of a weird move here. movement from Flint. I keep getting those numbers right though. Yeah, let's go ahead and like take this guy out. Again, these big bulky armor units are kind of hard to deal with. Some of the issue of getting that left-hand side taken care of is just there's a lot of units. If we defeat more than what appear, we'll start chipping away at them. Probably should have healed during that, but it's fine. And I will give the healers credit where credit is due. They are really good about targeting the right players. Like, they know who's at the lowest health and will heal them, but they also recognize that you, the player, are more valuable than their other other units. So they will focus you if you're in a not great way. Alright, perfect. That just leaves the one guy, and everybody else has to funnel through a really weird cacophony of us and also the ally units. One enemy at low health isn't going to be able to do much by himself. We can get him blocked off this upcoming turn, I think. Even with that dude dead, I think we can still do it. Or you could miss. That could also happen, sure. Essentially trying to trick the longbow users into come on over here and attack him. Because if they do, then you can swoop down with Mialucci, Alencia, or Marcia and kill them and then retreat before they can do anything. I don't really care if those dudes jump down there. They can if they want. It will semi-block the hole, but I don't trust them to stay alive either. If I needed to buy time, that would be great, but I don't really need to buy time anymore. At this point, I'm pretty confident with where we are. I might have just accidentally killed myself by switching the brave weapon. Why are we going over here when there's still other enemies over there? Are we doing that Fire Emblem thing where it's like, oh, we know we've got our dead to rights, and so we're just stalling by moving other units? The upside is her speed keeps going up, which means that the odds of her dodging an attack are increasing. Sorry, that looked really dumb. An energy drop, it might not matter though. Oh, he actually went for the other unit. Okay. Well, that was dumb. He probably could have had me. He probably had me dead to rights right there, and he didn't do anything about it. Switching Steel Great Lance. Full heal. Not gonna run the risk. Let me think here. I get this guy out? Oh, good. Okay. That means I can get this dude out. That double attack is a godsend. We would be in big trouble without it. Alright, so that dude's gone. At some point I would like to try and get this guy here, because he's got Nullify if you kill him. Which basically means any, like, bonus damage, so, like, the arrows to the Pegasus Knights, thunder, magic to the Wyverns, if you put that on them, then that gets negated. They don't take that bonus damage anymore. Yeah. Now that I've got the archers on the left side taken care of, I need to start knocking them out on this side as well. Because at some point Marcia needs to take Alencia's spot, and we need to go after Ludwig, but that's once the Royal Knights appear. They've not done that yet, but they will soon. I guess Neolucci could also technically take over that spot, now that the crossbows are gone, but having as many archers gone as possible would be extremely helpful. Probably next... Well, no, I do need to get that big, bulky knight out of there for the Nullify. But once he's gone, then yeah, I probably will have to swap out Alencia for somebody else, probably Marcia. Oh yeah, by all means, come on down. I'll happily get rid of that guy. It can be hard to get these guys out of here, these ones that are on the lowest floor, because you don't want to attract the attention of the boss, because he does move. Even on easy, he'll move. If you're not ready to take him on, and he's actually pretty tough, he can absolutely get you. Okay, good. 20 strength. That can sometimes be an issue for... And if you get an unlucky Nephany, sometimes her strength can be a little too low for this point. It will fix itself by the time she gets to Sentinel, but it can be an issue initially. Okay, so here's the plan. This guy needs to go. Have that skill. It's not the end of the world if you don't get it, but it helps. So I would recommend grabbing it if you can. Replace her with Neolucci. I'll figure out what to do with her second turn momentarily. Plan on getting them both, which is kind of a priority. It's probably 9. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we can do that. Should put it here instead. Cool. So the only one left is the crossbowman, who usually you won't have to worry about attracting the attention of. Usually you could lure Ludwig over here somewhere. Go back to Brave Lance for the time being to knock out more of these heavy knights. Oh yeah, these dumbasses are gonna walk down here too. And then both proceed to miss and take damage twice each. Yeah, because we both already cleaned the toilet twice each. Dude, those other knights, they're just getting bodied. They've not hit a single shot since they've gone down there. She should be able to hold her own pretty well, but if not, we've got backups here. Here. We could heal somebody, I guess. Well, there's not, like, really anybody to heal. If we went here. Anybody? Eh. Might as well. Put her in the correct spot. You can do this, but you have to be, like, pretty much exactly on the space directly above them. Fly down. Quickly knock them out. Fly back. It's not about them, like, overwhelming you with damage and killing you. It's more the problem is... It's more the problem is they might get in the way whenever you're trying to attack Ludwig. Because there's just extra people in the way, basically. So the more of them you can get rid of, if you are planning on going on the offensive, the better off you're going to be. And of course the Royal Knights will help with this too once they're here. I wouldn't recommend going after them until the Royal Knights are here. Exactly perfect by any stretch, but having the extra units does help. I'm just going to leave those two there. I'm not even going to bother moving them. And I guess the other horseback ally units are kind of useful, sure. The healer is the best one out of that group by a mile. He'll, like I said, like with the other healers, he'll cover you before he covers anybody else. Well, that big guy just killed himself, basically. He just completely screwed the pooch. He kept missing shots, and so he was like, let me go further into enemy lines just to, you know, make up for my previous failure. It's like, you can't make up for your previous failure unless you know what you did wrong in the first place. He clearly did not know that. Which is why he's now dead. Nice job, nerd. I'd say that left side is fully well handled at this point. Even with the reinforcements, they're good to go on that front. I'm going to knock out that other halberdier, though, before I fly down there with Valencia. Well, actually, because he's already moved, probably don't need to worry about that part of it. Get to there. Okay, so we'll go here. Yeah, he might make a good shield. Get back in the fight. Combo attack on this guy just for a laugh. Nice. Meanwhile, over here... I forgot he had that speed wing from the last fight. You can hang on to that, I guess. Well, it's probably, yeah, the weakest of the three, just pure level-wise, so... The big problem that we're going to run into is because that dumbass other ally unit went in and got himself killed is Ludwig's going to target somebody, and there are no other ally units that are down there anymore. Which means that the target has now shifted to us thanks to that guy's incompetence. Unless that specific one that just ran down there that I just healed can stay alive long enough for the boss to come and kill him. Okay, good. So we're in with a chance. This is basically going to be this next turn is probably going to be the final turn. That is almost assuredly what's going to happen. At least they moved around a bit, so they got me a couple more spots I can attack him from. Typically, Alencia is going to be doing the high bulk of the work here, though. She can also fly around the enemy units, so that part's not as big of a problem. Let's start over here, since this is the easier of the two things to deal with right now. Just on the off chance we end up using them again. A little bit helps. Okay, over here... Not sure what good backlog can do. That'll work. I was about to say, giving Nephany the opportunity to attack would be more useful than him trying to attack, I would wager. That's not a lot of damage, though. But going with a brave attack might work. Also, battle saving before I get myself killed might be a good idea. For the double critical chance, that was all there. Nothing better with a better accuracy here. He should, theoretically, class change, so he'll get his health back. Okay, so he'll be okay. Sort of wall, but again, this will probably be the final turn. We could attempt to go for it with Kieran, I guess. We'll go with an abnormal kill. Normally, Alencia, again, would do the work there because of her 4x attack, plus the chance to stun would almost assuredly get him, and also his accuracy is not great against a Pegasus Knight. And also having the weapon triangle disadvantage. Send it to convoy. That, sure. There we go. I might actually let the cutscene play out, because this is a pretty cool cutscene. I'm not gonna lie. This might be the best one in the game. I'm sure most people probably think it's like the final one in the game, like the final big one. Or, one like halfway through part 3. But for me, it's this one. So we'll let it play.
Come on, do it. It's a clean shot.
What if he just missed and hit that guard in the face?
What's the problem?
I'm nervous. What have I
Aim
done?
high.
It's too late for nerves, Rolf. If you're not up to it, just leave it to the master, eh? Watch and learn. One clean motion. No hesitation.
And that's why Shinnen is the best archer in the game. He barely took any time to line up that shot and did it perfectly.
The Queen's men are attacking!
It's also a really funny line here in a second after the more of these idiots start getting wiped out.
Sorry. Always lost in your books. What have I said about watching your back?
Yeah, this one right here, just surround them all, don't let a single one escape, and they're just getting slaughtered by the Grail mercenaries. Just, like, They don't even look like they're remotely struggling to get these guys. I mean, Boyd kind of does, but that's just because he's a show-off. But Oscar does not even look like he's kind of struggling. He's just, like, casually picking them off. I appreciate that they went for, like, the whole fighting back-to-back thing and then actually had them move slightly. Because, especially with swords, fighting literally back-to-back does not work because you lose a lot of your options where you're having to move your shoulders and your back and you're messing up the person you're supposed to be teaming with. Hilariously enough, if you wanted that maneuverability, it would actually be genuinely easier to fight ass to ass, where you're like leaning forward with your asses sticking next to each other, which is really funny, but it's true. It would actually be better. You'd get more maneuverability that way. It's really stupid, but it's true. Well, speaking of asses, I think that is a good time to pause here for the day, and I mean, we would be doing this regardless to temporarily end. But part 3 is very, very long. It's about the length of those last 2 parts we did put together. It's like 16 or 17 stages as opposed to 5 or 12. So yeah, it's basically parts 1 and 2 put together in terms of how many stages. So we will end this off here. And next time, whenever we continue the coin flip run, which I'm hoping I'll still have the energy is not the right word, enthusiasm, I guess. But it's been a good run thus far, so I've enjoyed it. So we'll see what happens in part 3. But until then, take care, and I will see you all when next we stream. As a side note, before we go, the whole thing with Icarus being busy 24/7 should hopefully clear up pretty soon. She's switching jobs in terms of what department she's working in pretty soon, which means that she will no longer have to work until 10 o'clock at night, because the big issue was, by the time that she was free, if she wasn't exhausted, I was already at work, because I start work at 10 o'clock. So it would have to be on a day that we were both free, and those days just weren't lining up. So she'll be done at 5 instead, so we'll actually be able to start doing more of Pokemon Versus again and Wind Waker as well. So hopefully that should be coming up soon, but no immediate promises on when that is. But I know she's transferring over pretty dang soon, so we'll see. Till then, take care, guys, and I'll see you all in the next one. Later.